We have Madonna to thank for this, but when it comes to being provocative, Katy Perry may be the heiress to the throne. She's nominated for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, and trust me, it didn't happen by playing it safe.
Sometimes I do things that people don't expect pop girls to do. You want to look at the camera?
Look.
Oh, yeah. Delicious.
Look.
Katy Perry's got some explaining to do.
I first heard this song this weekend and I was kind of like, what did I just hear?
Why does the naughty pop star who sings songs you would never hear in Sunday school sport a Jesus tattoo? And was this bi-curious ode to sexual experimentation really written by the daughter of two evangelical ministers?
Sometimes people would expect, well, they're pastors. I'm a black sheep, you know.
More like a cash cow. At 24, Katy Perry is pop's reigning princess, thanks to that cherry chapstick chart topper that spent 7 weeks at #1, tying a Capitol Records milestone previously held by the Beatles. What about I Kissed a Girl?
I woke up one morning and I had this chorus in my head. You know, I was like, that is so interesting. What a interesting subject matter.
Ironically, it was the one song her record label wanted to ditch.
They said, no, we don't really hear it. I don't think we're going to put this on the record. And of course I was like, count to 10. Don't forget. It'll grow on them just like it grew on you.
And you have actually kissed many a girl.
Yes, ma'am, I have. Many a woman.
And liked it?
Well, yeah, I guess I would have stopped after the first one.
With pinup girl looks and a salacious sense of humor,
do you guys like my cherries?
Katy Perry says she's super blessed. And she should know, given the house she grew up in Santa Barbara, California. What was your childhood like?
Well, we're in a church, so it very much feels like home right now. I went to church on Sunday morning, Sunday evening, and Wednesday night. I started singing in church at 9 years old.
She was raised Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, a middle child, by two parents, both traveling ministers, whose services included speaking in tongues. And it's really God is speaking through you, or it's some kind of communion with God?
Yeah, it's exactly that. There was a movie called Jesus Camp, and I watched it, and I was like, I didn't know they had behind-the-scenes footage of my childhood.
Mom and Dad were so devout, deviled eggs were called angeled eggs, and secular music was off limits, except you could listen to the soundtrack from Sister Act?
Sister Act 2, yeah.
So how did Katy Perry get to here from there? Turns out the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Your mom dated Jimi Hendrix?
She went on a date.
And your dad hung around with Timothy Leary?
Yeah, he was a part of the Strawberry Fields forever. My parents have stories, and they found God, you know? Not that they needed to find God, God found them, really.
At 13, the preacher's daughter was ready to take her own walk on the wild side. Katy discovered Queen and the flamboyant Freddie Mercury.
He seemed to have come out on stage like a firecracker, and I love that. He was an entertainer, you know, and that's what I want to be, is an entertainer.
Yep, that's her. It wasn't Bohemian Rhapsody, but her performance on Christian TV had people singing her praises. And soon enough, she was Nashville bound. This was your first album.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you have one. Lucky you.
This was a Christian album?
It was a Christian gospel album I made when I was 15. That was my world, and I appreciated it, and all those songs I wrote were very important to me at the time. I wrote about everything I knew then.